Sorry folks, I don't know what happened. I must have hit the button by accident and turned off the video. But anyway, we were just coming back into Mesa, Arizona on the Bush Highway. This will shortly turn into Power Road and bring us back into the main flow of Mesa, back into the city, but still surrounded by mountains and just beautiful weather. This area here, this is still Tonto National Forest. It's huge. I don't even know how big it is. How many square miles it is. It's massive. And it's got one of the largest populations of wild horses in the country. There's signs all over, watch for horses. I've seen dozens and dozens of wild horses out here just traveling this road, going back and forth to our shooting spot out in the desert. And it's just really cool to see that. It's reminds me of the old Wild West. So I got to tell you, I mean, this is such a big change from New Jersey to Arizona. My wife and I are extremely happy out here. Everything is just, it's so much different from the typical rat race of the East Coast. It does have its drawbacks too. I mean, here we are in February. As I said, 72 degrees. No snow on the ground. I mean, so that's a big drawback. Yeah, right. As they say, you cannot shovel sunshine. So the winters out here are unbelievable, very mild. On occasion, we'll get some cold weather. It'll drop down into sometimes the low 30s at night. And I think the coldest winter morning we had was last year, and it was like 27 degrees. Now, being used to a warmer climate, you get acclimated very quickly. And 27 degrees felt like 25 below to me. Even after just a short amount of time, after 18 months of being out here. But we haven't had that this year. I think the couple cold mornings, maybe 30, 38, 39 degrees. But the last few, I would say the last 4 or 5 mornings, it's been in the high 50s and low 60s for the most part. And then here we are. It's about 2:30 p.m. here, Arizona time. And, 72 degrees. I mean, can't beat it. Can't beat it. Another week, and it'll be back to sleeveless shirts and shorts. Now, as we get closer to March, it starts to climb up into the low 80s with 0% humidity. So I mean, it's just it's an incredible change from what I was used to for 55 somewhat years living back in New Jersey on the East Coast. So, well, as you can see, the scenery is changing. All right, and we are starting to enter into Northeast Mesa, which is where my wife and I reside. Very nice neighborhood, very nice section of Mesa. Convenient. Every store you can think of, every supermarket you could think of. Out here we got a chain called Bash's', a chain called Fry's. We have Albertsons, we have Safeway, and we have sort of like a Whole Foods type called Sprouts. Fresh produce, all kinds of stuff. Here's a typical golf course out here. I mean, and there, you can't even count the amount that we have. So I plan on taking that back up. Used to play a lot back on the East Coast. You know, spring, summer, fall. Out here, it's all year round. And I have not even picked up my clubs. They're still sitting in the garage. So I would really like to start to get back into swinging the clubs and you know, enjoying a nice round of golf with a couple buddies and a couple guys that I work with. But anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update as we get back into the nitty-gritty here. Though we still have some mountains which basically surround the whole valley, which consists of Phoenix, Scottsdale, Mesa, Fountain Hills, Paradise Valley, Glendale, Peoria, Chandler, and Gilbert. And I probably missed something here and there, but just very nice. I have a couple videos that we put up on the phone. I'm going to see if I can upload them and attach them over here for our little shoot that we had. AR-15s, my 45 Colt, Glock 17, and I even took my little 38 Smith & Wesson Bodyguard out for a little run out in the desert, just to stay a little proficient with it. It's my #1 carry gun at this point, just based on the weight and just how easy it is to conceal. You know, in the summer, we have temperatures that could exceed, you know, 118 degrees. It's not every day, but we might get 2 or 3 days that hit 118, 119, 120. But I would say the average temperature in the summer is probably about 113 to 115. And it's freaking hot. It's just that simple. It's hot. I don't care if it's dry or whatever. It's hot. So carrying a Glock 19 or an SR9 compact Ruger, you know, it could be challenging. Not only for the weight, but also for the concealment factor. You know, I wear very, very light sleeveless shirts, you know, during my leisure time. And I like to keep my firearm concealed when I'm carrying it. I prefer that. You can open carry out here, and I do that on occasion when I am on my way to and from the gun range where I work part-time, Caswell's here in Mesa. But that's about the only time. Other than that, I don't want anybody to know my business. So very nice little firearm. It's got the best trigger, I think, out of any snub-nose revolver I've ever tried. And I've tried them all. Rugers, Smith & Wessons, Taurus, Charter Arms. I fired just about every snub-nose. And the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard has got the best trigger. I mean, it almost feels like it was worked, you know, in the Performance Center for Smith & Wesson, but it's just got such a sweet trigger. They did it right with that little gun. I mean, it's got the built-in laser, which I'll most likely never use, but it just comes on the gun. It's not a big deal. It's on there. It's good. It's good for me when I dry fire practice. I just pick a spot somewhere, you know, pick a target, whether it's a picture on the wall or maybe a light switch, and I try to keep that dot from moving as I'm manipulating the trigger. So it's a good training tool, but as far as a defensive tool, for me, you know, I don't think I'd ever use it, but who knows? Nobody knows till you're actually in that situation, which I pray that never happens to me. But anyway, guys, this is Walt D 1911. I hope you enjoyed the little tour of Tonto National Forest here in Arizona. And I'll be making a couple more videos as we go. I'm finding a little bit more time. My schedule's kind of lightened up, and it's been a little bit easier to get some time. So I'll be signing off for now. So remember, shoot straight, shoot safe. See ya.